I finally submitted my challenge with only 20 minutes left before the deadline. It's not that I procrastinated, this time I was sailing through the project, but later on I hit a bunch of problems, which I'll get to in a bit. For now, here's my submission, it's called Coffee Heist. I definitely won't make the top 100, but that's okay. I'm happy I completed this challenge, and more importantly, I learnt a lot. So this project roughly took me 60 hours to complete, but at least 20 of those hours was spent solving problems. I wish I had more time to improve the scene, especially the character animations, and some stuff going on in the background. Perhaps another tiny person doing a somersault over the kitchen sink, just like in the Borrowers film. So what went wrong? Well, issue 1. The coffee beans versus the jar and spoon. Getting the beans to interact properly with the jar and spoon took a lot of trial and error. I had to experiment and mess around with a lot of values, especially with friction and bounce, but it still wasn't working. Final solution was to separate the spoon and the jar, have them as separate static objects in Houdini. For the spoon I had convex hull as the type and the jar as concave, which solved all the problems. I shared a lot of details on this setup in my last video if you're interested. The result of this simulation was 16,000 coffee beans, which was strenuous on my PC and Blender would freeze up a lot. So I didn't add the coffee beans till the very last moment until I was ready to render. Issue 2 was the cloth simulation for the backpack and dress. Because my character was tiny, the cloth kept glitching in Marvelous Designer, no matter what I tried. I offset the character's skin surface and reduced the simulation particle distance, but it still failed. The solution was to scale my character up back to real world size. That helped, but then the action was moving so fast that I got more glitches. I resolved that part by slowing down my animation by 25% using the scene time wrap and setting it to 4. Ran the simulation again, and then right before the export, I returned the speed to normal. The third issue was launching the toothpick. I attached the toothpick to the character's hand using a child of constraint. On release, I animated the constraints influence down to 0 so the toothpick flew off. But how do I stick the toothpick to the character's eye and make sure it stays there on impact? The solution is obvious, but I guess under time pressure I blanked. But you just need to add a second child of modifier and make sure the target was the eye bone of the human. And that was it. The fourth issue was shooting the harpoon gun and having the rope attached to the hook. There are plenty of methods, including simulations, but again, I was under time constraint because I had to submit it the next day and I haven't even rendered yet. So I went with the simplest solution, which was using a Bezier curve attached to the arrow with a hook modifier and the other end hooked to the gun. Then when I added some depth and resolution to the curve, it looks okay. Not the best looking solution, but good enough that most people won't even notice because it's only a 6-second animation and the gun is quite small in the scene. Yeah, if I had more time, I would have improved a bunch of stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm just happy I finished. I probably won't make the top 100. Just having a glance on YouTube, I've seen some of the submissions and they are top quality. Like they always take it to the next level. But yeah, it was fun to participate and I learned a ton and that's what matters to me. Anyway, one project down and a bunch more to work on. I'll be posting some behind the scenes stuff and mini tutorials. I'm not the best at tutorials, so take everything I do with a pinch of salt and investigate yourself, but yeah, I'm still learning. Yeah, see you soon. Peace out.